Do you find it hard to gain muscle? Have you ever considered that maybe you're a hard gainer? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why you're not. First of all, what is a hard gainer? Usually when you hear this word, it's followed very closely by another word, ectomorph. And so what is an ectomorph? Back in the 1940s, a psychologist named Sheldon created a model to describe people and their behavior based on their body type and how they look. So here we see the three body types. First, we have the ectomorph, who's that tall and skinny guy who supposedly can't gain muscle. Then we have the mesomorph, who supposedly has the best body type to gain muscle without gaining fat. And finally, we have the endomorph, who's that big, stocky guy who tends to put on muscle easily, but also stores more fat. And when you look at people, you can kind of see these three different body types. And so the theory goes that ectomorphs with their long, thin bone structure have it really difficult to gain muscle. And so over time, another label, hard gainer, was developed to describe ectomorphs when they try to gain muscle. And I'm like the textbook definition of an ectomorph. I mean, look at this. Your kid's sister probably has bigger wrists than I do. And so when I first started trying to gain muscle back in 2003, when I was 6 feet tall and 137 pounds, this is what I was reading about online. And of course, I found plenty of people online telling me that they had the secret. And they were all telling me that I had to eat some ridiculous amount of calories. And so that's what I did. I started bulking and just eating everything in sight. And guess what happened? I got really, really fat, like 218 pounds fat. So then I had to wait several months learning how to burn that fat off, just so I could get back to where I started and try again to build muscle, but muscle that I could actually see and wasn't hiding under a layer of fat. It was a great learning experience, but I don't recommend it. It was like taking 3 steps forward just to take 2 steps back. And in some extreme cases, people actually lose so much muscle trying to burn the fat off that they end up in the exact same spot where they started after they burn the fat off. But eventually I figured it out, and this ectomorph right here was able to gain 45 pounds of muscle with very little fat. And how did I do it? One word, simplicity. First, I stopped calling myself a hard gainer because I realized that the science of building muscle is the same no matter what your body looks like. And even better, I realized that it's a simple science that comes down to eating the right amount of calories and doing a very short list of exercises at the gym. When you define yourself with any label, you instantly become that label and put a huge psychological barrier on your own growth. And with body types, and especially the hard gainer label, you give yourself an excuse for anything that could possibly go wrong with your workout program. And so when I started trying to gain muscle, I was reading so much bad information that when I failed, I said to myself, yeah, they were right. I'm a hard gainer, I'm an ectomorph. Maybe this will never work. But in reality, I was just making the whole process way more difficult than it should have been. So I wasted years adjusting and trying to figure out things that I now know really didn't matter. And so what if you have to eat 200 or 300 more calories a day because you're an ectomorph? That's like 2 pieces of bread. You're not a hard gainer. You're a human that has to eat 200 or 300 more calories every day to gain muscle. All this fuss and all this wasted energy over 2 pieces of bread? If you're just starting out and you think you're an ectomorph or a hard gainer, all you have to do is eat a few more 100 calories than you burn every day, just like anybody else. And then focus on those 6 or 7 compound exercises at the gym, like the squat, deadlift, and bench press, and then just rest and recover. That's it. Now I know if this is your first time doing this, you're probably thinking, easier said than done, right? And I understand. And that's why I created this channel, to answer any questions that you have and to make videos on these topics that I was also concerned about when I was just getting started. So send me any questions that you have, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so I'll know to continue with these videos. See you next time.